Thank you, Phil. Thank you. Welcome to the Sunday Show. I'm Katie Puckrick.
I'm Phil Kay.
And Donna's still recuperating, so Phil is back.
I'm at ease, I'm relaxed.
You are Mr. Confident. You are running with the big dogs.
Yeah.
You are down by law. I mean, what gives?
I don't know. Last week I worried too much. I got too nervous and silly things to understand. And this weekend, you know, everything's fine. I'm totally in control. The whole studio is working as if it's my parts of my body. Look, watch this. I'm not saying what part they are. Camera 2, for instance. Look, camera 2's in, camera 2's out again, camera 2's in again, camera 3, focus, zoom. Camera's out, camera 1. Can you do my knee? Can you get my knee? Totally, see everything just flowing with me.
They are in the palm of your hand.
It's a doddle, it's easy.
Phil, if you're so creamy smooth, what's coming up on the rest of the show?
Oh, you're trying to test me? Well,
yeah.
We've got these small mice that can do stuff. Oh, no, I can't do it.
Here's what's coming up on the rest of the show.
So clever.
Andrew Maxwell debates with all the other eggheads at the Oxford Union. Ooh, movie star. We've got Eric's latest career move. And I investigate ghosts on Britain's haunted highway. All that plus soapbox jury, Dennis Pennis, and the Righteous Sunday Show Choir.
Hey, folks, wasn't it like looking at a menu in a restaurant and you like everything on the menu? Isn't that amazing? Wow, but the first thing the menu is like the entree, the start at the beginning, the nibble, the appetizer, the horse, the herbs. The first thing this week, we're going to find out right now from Kay who is this week's Celebrity Dilemma.
This week's Celebrity Dilemma is Mr. Budget himself, Kenneth Clark. Horses right there. The Chancellor of the Exchequer presented us with a new budget on Tuesday, and it was bad news if you like your thrills cheap, because tax on cigarettes and booze went up, but mysteriously tax on whiskey, which is the Chancellor of the Exchequer's favorite tipple, went right down. That's kind of funny. Now the score is, the big selling point of this year's budget is the fact that he's taken 1p off of everybody's income tax, which is big whoop if you don't even have an income. And if you do have an income, I mean, that is virtually a bribe to get everyone to vote Tory. I don't know. And he's going to have to do better than that. I mean, 1p. I mean, that is slim pickings. So later on in the show, we're going to have 3 options for Mr. Kenneth Clark to give us a real bribe, a real reason to vote Tory, because the 1p is just not cutting it. We'll be letting you at home phone in a little bit later on, and also be letting you in the studio audience tell us what you think. And now Phil is out with the group, mingling and getting the feel.
Mostly corned beef, although some smoked ham. Now, I'm going to dip my toe in there, but what do you reckon? What do you reckon Ken Clark could give you that would make you... Do you vote Tory? I would guess I would say no.
No.
No, and no. And you don't even want to hear the questions, it's just no. Have you been to Ulster? No. Now, madam, where are you from? What's your name? Smashing. Okay. That's it. Now, what? No, you don't vote Tory. Does anyone here vote Tory? Anyone proud enough to say they do? Now, is there anything that... Do you think that... Oh, wait a minute. She's... No, hang on. Boo hiss. No, hang on. No, and you voted for how long?
Oh, years and years.
Years and years?
Yeah. He's, I think John Major's a lovely man, though.
He is a lovely man. Are you taking the whatnot?
No, very nice.
So you don't need any incentives or bribes to vote Tory because you already are?
No.
Fantastic. Someone who doesn't. So what would it take to make you vote Tory?
Oh, I don't know. I don't drink and I don't smoke, so I guess the tax on that doesn't really matter to me much.
You don't drink, don't smoke, you're just happy enemy. Nothing matters. So the thing is, I would say that, madam, you're a woman. Ken Clark appeals to you on in many more levels than just the one of the Chancellor. What could he do for you personally?
Make Budweiser 1 pence a bottle.
What a fantastic idea! That really is a... Sure, there were less steps there. No, that's a really brilliant suggestion, although what we have cunningly worked out is a set of 3 options, which Katie's now going to run us through with.
Well, that beer lowering of what I'm trying to say is students like their beer, students like their fags, and yes, sirree, option 1 is free fags and beer for kids. And if you like that option, you got to go.
You're against it.
0891 800 301. Option 2 is a free holiday to Hawaii to get us to vote Tory. That's 0891-800-302. And finally, option 3, tax on Robson and Jerome records. Nobody needs to buy those things. They're evil. And the number to dial is 0891-800-303. Remember to consult an authority figure before you pick up the phone and dial those digits.
Ask before you dial.
Ask before you dial.
Katie, what do you think? Those are three good suggestions. What do you think about Ken Clark?
I think that everyone should receive a free white performing Lipizzan horse because they're so beautiful and they're so talented and they just cheer everyone up.
Nothing makes me vote. Nothing will make me vote like a Viennese four-legged thing. Now here's some time for some news.
Is that right? Last Tuesday, Demi Moore was savagely bitten outside a restaurant by a friend of her mother. Apparently, the woman didn't believe rumors that the actress has bad taste. Theater news, Jane Horrocks urinates nightly on stage in her new role as Lady Macbeth. The actress commented, sometimes it's just a trickle, and other nights it comes flooding out like a horse. There's those horses again. She's talented. This week, Cher confessed she has the hots for Labor leader Tony Blair. The wig-wearing wild woman said, politicians are generally unsexy. I guess he's a bit sexy. Which bit? Meanwhile, celebrity connubial crisis. Whitney Houston and Bobby Brown still can't make beautiful music together. Sure, Whitney took Bobby back when he checked out of booze rehab, but not all their problems are over. How bad is it? On last week's Oprah, Whitney let her wedding ring do the talking.
Oh, gosh. You want to know? It ain't that bad.
Yeah, we believe you, but on Tuesday, U.S. tabloid TV show Hard Copy alleged that 2 months after Bobby married Whitney, his 4th love child was born. How does that grab your wit?
Bobby, how are y'all doing?
We're doing fine. Bobby is fine. And that's all I want to say. Let's put it like this. We're here to talk about Excel. My life is none of your business.
Yes, La Whitney, but tell us anyway. Footballer Eric Cantona scored another goal, this time with his big screen debut. The fiery Frenchman has been leaving his mark on sports fans in more ways than one. He's tackled razor ads, fashion shows, and la philosophy.
Les images sont beaucoup plus belles que les mots.
And now Eric's gone even deeper. With his first film, Happiness is in the Meadow. He's a profound rugby player in this bijou French comedy, but his shirt gets the biggest laughs.
C'est la vie, le feu.
What a card. The French are posing a new threat to international security, this time with a party-hopping pensioner. Claude X's retirement hobby is gate-crashing all the best celebrity wingdings. The ex-bookie caused outrage in France last July at a Bastille Day do when he slipped past security guards to shake hands with President Chirac. He also schmoozed Sharon Stone at Cannes and posed with world leaders on VE Day. And last week in Copenhagen, the camera hogs rolled right past bouncers and into the royal wedding of Prince Joachim and Alexandra Manley. Casual. Isn't it tragic how desperate some people are for attention?
It ain't so bad.
What's that?
It ain't so bad. This, in fact, is Whitney Houston's wedding ring. Can you believe it? I will do. Anyway, and it's folds away as well. Can you believe it? It just folds away in your pocket. There's not many shopping days left of Christmas.
No, I'm really concerned about shopping days.
I managed to get all the stuff for my family, but your family are so tricky until I found this brilliant place where I got all this amazing stuff.
My family are demented.
They are crazy, and plus the fact that they're all named after famous ships. It's really weird. Right, because you know that uncle of yours, what's his name, Titanic? And he lives on this wee island in the middle of a lake, and I never know what to get to him, and I also never had to get the presents to him.
No.
But all I know is he loves crackers. So I've got this present. Don't worry, it's funny. I've got this present this year. It's a Ritz cracker thrower. Can you believe it? Seriously. You simply slip in your little crackers You can line up to 4 crackers here, and then you simply whiz them like some kind of juicy morsel game of pelota right out, and I went, oh, goodness!
Oh, you just hit me with that
I just
cracker.
got I would never do it here because the BBC insurance rules and fire risks and stuff, and these crackers are very hot, very fiery, and it can easily go in someone's eye, but if I were to do it, it would look something like that. And in fact, or even a bit like that. And you can actually do it the same with, it can actually scoop Sylvester. Anyway, but it also takes off, if you've still got a VIP, went to the Oasis gig last Sunday in Manchester when you're here, it helps take that off.
Oh, la-di-doo-da donuts,
it doesn't,
get
it doesn't.
you.
Also,
Mr. Fancy Pants.
you know your auntie, you know the one that's named after, you know what's the name, Kiwitu? Well,
Kiwitu, yes. Yeah.
She's from Hawaii.
We call her Kiwi for short.
Kiwi.
Yeah.
Well, she loves to do the dishes.
Oh, doesn't she just?
But she's also very tight with her money. So we've got
too tight.
this perfect gift, which is a purse. No, it's not. It's a marigold. And it's called handbag. It's called handbag. Get it?
That's completely silly, Phil.
It is silly. It should be called purse bag. No, purse bag. Purse bag. So that's funny. Fairly. And
I think I'm going to have to stop you right there because we've got our lad champing at the bit. Now, normally our lad, Andrew Maxwell, is up for all sorts of action. But this week he's using a different organ, his brain, because the Oxford Union invited him to their debate.
So far I've been out in the town with Geordies. Tried flinging myself off bridges and other dangerous activities. Ah! I've even tried being a male escort. Well, compliment me on how well I look. And now I'm going to see what kind of fun eggheads get up to. Apparently being a student is lots of fun, so I went to the Oxford Union to meet President and future Tory MP Matt Guy. So Matt, what do you brainy people like to do for fun?
Well, we've got a debate on tonight, Andy.
About what?
Well, it's on the motion tonight, this house would rather be drunk and disorderly than sober and smug.
Can you give us some tips?
Well, most importantly, you've got to stay in control of the floor. Let them know who's boss, get them on your side, and make a few gags, get them laughing.
Fair enough. Before any debating can be done, it is customary to have a couple of drinks. I went for a bit of a mingle to suss out the standard of intellect I was up against.
How late are they going to be, and should I say champers?
I can't remember which one it was. I think it's all over.
Which way will you be debating?
Well, I was going to be drunk and disorderly, but I've now been forced to be sober and smart. A bit of a bore.
Is this your usual gear?
I'm a great believer you've got it, flaunt it.
No offense, you posh people are weird, aren't you? Hey. So what debating tips have you got for us?
I'm just going to ramble.
After drinks, you get a free dinner. It was a chance to relax and impress some of the ladies with my huge, throbbing brain. So, like, are you impressed with my brainy blokes? After dinner and photographs, it was time to adjourn to the hall for the mass debate, where I was arguing for the drunks.
Smug people do not appear to understand that the degradation of self is exactly the quality that we look for when we decide to drink. We will drink on the beaches. We will never be sober.
Your man who used to be on the bill got us off to a stirring start, but Peter Stringfellow had an even more straightforward argument for us boozers.
What we really do with drink is we try and get sex. That's what it's all about. No.
My holy pal put up a strong biblical case for sobriety, I think.
Alcohol rears its head almost immediately in the Bible when Noah, chapter 9, verse 20, in Genesis, as you probably know, becomes a husbandman and plants a vineyard, and in the next verse, drank wine and gets drunken.
Mr. Hughes.
But Luke from Honeaway did the opposition no favours when he stooped to insulting one of my debating partners.
Well, anyone that turns up to hairdressers with a hangover after a night of drunken debauchery, I'm afraid, deserves a haircut like that. Even Luke Cunningham, ex-Home and Away, can tell you that long hair is just not happening.
Neither is bleached blonde hair. Then it was my turn. I remembered Matt's advice about getting a crowd on my side. Tell you one thing, I would have not learned the only thing that I'm good at in this world if I hadn't been really pissed one night, and that's how to do an impression of a didgeridoo. I had the opposition on the run, and I decided that to help my team even more, I'd nobble the chairman by giving him a swig of me beer. And it worked. Our side won. Thank you. It's been a great honour. Good night. So that's all the intellectual hijinks over and done with. Now for some after-debating Dwinkies. Well, so what do you think of me debating style?
Well, Andy, it was definitely okay.
I thought it was lovely. Well, my debating skills seem to have gone down quite well, and that girl was impressed by my big brain after all. So me and my newfound friends party to the wee small hours. Well, that's all that highbrow debating over and done with. All that's left to say is, boo, rah, hey, and I'm off to bed.
What happened? You got your haircut. Did they do that to you?
That's the last time I go to the pub in the afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
I saw you kissing someone in that video there.
Yes.
Extract. It was good to see you chewing your toff. What were they like, the upper class people? Were they different from us?
They're okay, but very depraved.
Yeah?
There's this one bloke came up to me and he goes, anything outrageous you want me to do, I'll do it. There's eat sick, eat poo. I was just like, go away, you pervert. Reverend, please.
He was very debauched, kind of.
They were very strange. And there was like people lying on the ground with comedy breasts on their head, passed out drunk, and it was like, well, at least these people will never hold positions of power in this country.
That reminds me, what are you going to get your pet this year for Christmas?
I'm going to get a big collar.
Big collar? You haven't got a budgie, have you? That would be bad. Because I've got some things. Because I was thinking of you in the nativity scene. In the nativity scene, you've got a lot of like humans around, but you've also got animals. You know, sort of animals around in the scene. So I was thinking, what to get your animal for Christmas, and I searched out some hilariously really great stuff in here somewhere. Like a lot of cats and dogs like water and love drinking water, but I don't think. But some of that water isn't special. I just hear the sound of Velcro again. That's lovely. But normal water isn't good, so this crazy company's brought out fishy, tangy, fishy flavoured water, which I swear is absolutely... It's just...
That's real!
It's just like when you wash your socks in the basin and you forget to empty it before you... And this is what dogs love. It's gooey flavoured. Oh no, it's crispy beef flavoured. Crisp beef? Who's he? Right. And then if your cat or dog likes pizza, people have made a real pizza that you give to your dog. Looks just like they've already ate it and then it's come out.
Oh my God!
I had no idea what this was. This is a bit of a description.
Oh, I don't want to know anymore. I don't want to know anymore.
Log.
This is far too much for color television. And before yours explodes, here's what's coming up in the rest of the show.
I burn ghost rubber on the spooky A666. Soapy Dick gets some pop pick and help checking out the latest sounds on the street. And we see the squirmy, wormy, snake-licking ladies of China.
Would laugh at anything. Right, by the way, it's time for a quick update on the dilemma. You've got 5 minutes left. That's confusing.
10.
You've got 5 minutes left. Ted Rogers, you've got the 2 minutes. 5 minutes left. 5 minutes left to call in with your answer. Don't forget the 3 options are, of course, 0891 800 301
for
on
fags
Ken's
and
Dilemma.
beer.
Free booze and fags for Ken's Dilemma. Option 2 or option B. Free haul to Hawaii, whole shot for Hawaii, whole shot for holiday. Options are 0891 800 302. And don't forget get a parent to agree to your dialing. And the third option, or option C, is tax on Robson and Jerome's huge vacuity. And the number for that one to call that one is 0898 800. Call that one, it's definitely the one to call. 30, and if you want it, 303, forget these ones. Right, so...
And now it's just about time for the guy who's the wiggliest puppy in the basket, Dennis Pennis.
You're gonna have to excuse me today. I'm a little bit tense, a little bit nervous. I've not been sleeping too well, you know. I've been lying in bed, tossing and turning, tossing and tossing. You know, you can't let it get you, you know. You gotta beat it, huh? You gotta beat it. So what I do, I get out of bed, I get myself a big piece of paper, and I write out all my problems, you know, one by one, like a kind of soothing process. You stick it up on the wall, get yourself a Stanley knife, and you hack at it, man. Slash at it. Oh, boy, does that make you feel good. But I'm not a violent man, you know. I really am not in a fight situation. I'm physically illiterate. And that's why I've always been fascinated with the boxing fraternity. And this week, I met a couple of the big British boys, Frank the Spank and Chris Eubank. Chris. Hi, baby. How are you?
No, I'm not going to shake your hand because you're going to try and dirty me.
I'm not going to dirty you.
Of course you are.
But you've always heard yourself a businessman. I just want to know, your last fight, you took the position of official receiver.
That's fair to say, yeah.
That's fair to say.
Yeah.
But also, I want to know, are you ever going to release an autobiography?
On what?
Well, on your life. I mean, everyone wants to read about it. Would you ever consider doing that?
Do you want to read about it?
I want to read about it. I
Really?
want to know, you know, because if it's about you, presumably the book wouldn't have a title.
That's a good one.
Yeah?
Yeah.
You're not going to have
No.
Thank God for that.
I'm non-violent.
It's gonna rock when you hear this record, Miss Lee.
Frank, hi.
Oh my God, it's not you, Ginger.
How are you, man? How you doing?
Outrageous, man. Yeah.
Listen, I'm very worried. Concerned all this.
Where are you concerned? What are you concerned
All
about?
this boxing you're doing, you know, there's a real danger it might sort of stop people taking your pantomime seriously. Is that funny?
Is that one, isn't it?
I don't know about that.
That's a joke, isn't it?
It is a joke.
Love that here, mate. Cry for it than glasses.
Are you worried about
Wicked.
meeting Tyson?
Sorry?
Are you worried about meeting Tyson? Or you
I'm more worried of meeting a guy like you because I didn't know you was coming and you're fresh.
I am fresh. Yeah, I really hope that Frank's prepared for Tyson next year and he doesn't just see him as some kind of pussy in boots. But also, you know, I hear that Frank's wife has been having talks with the Vatican about getting Frank canonized so he can become Saint Bruno. Because apparently he's a top quality shag. Now, moving way away from the whole concept of top quality shags, Paulie Yates was on the town this week. I went up with her, Neil Kinnock, the one and only Mike Reed, and top TV pundit Mike Smith. Recently Michael and Liam had a little bit of a bust-up, I heard, recently. Do you think, since he's been going out with you, that's the first time Michael's felt a real tit?
Like a real what?
A real tit.
No, because nothing happened.
Finally, I just want to say,
Yes.
you're not with Mike for the money. I mean, although he's worth a few bob.
No, I'm with him entirely for the size of his.
You know, can I just ask you one question, one very brief? Can I just ask you a very brief question?
I think England could have done better yesterday.
No, I must say, I mean, the present government seems intent on emptying all the mental institutions onto the street. Would a Labour government reverse this while there's still a loony left?
Oh, I don't speak for a Labour government, though there certainly is going to be one. You can be certain that their policies will mix rationality with common sense and humanity.
Wonderful. Thank you. Mike Reed.
Bonsoir.
Real pleasure to meet Mike Reed.
And you.
Could I be frank with you?
You can be frank with anybody. Are you frank?
Pay it! Riggy!
No question.
I think you're the wrong Mike Reed. Hi, Mike. Michael. What? Mike. Can I have a quick word with you? How are you?
Hello, Dinas. How are you?
I'm very well, thanks. How you doing?
I'm fine, thanks, Dinas.
I want to know
Yeah.
how you originally got together with Sarah. Because I heard a rumor that your producer sat you down and said, Mike, you're washed up. Go out there and get yourself a personality. And you might well have misinterpreted his advice.
Guinness Book of Records, longest question in the world.
Good question, though. And just like Michael, I'm a sporty guy, and I enjoy nothing more on a Sunday than fumbling around and sticking a couple of balls on the green. As we done, hey, it's a beautiful day out there. Waste it. I'm going to hand you back to Philip and Catherine right now. See you guys.
Every time.
Every single gosh darn time. Last week, I investigated a terrifying phenomenon. It wasn't the contents of Phil's laundry basket. No, it was the haunted A666.
Route 666 in America is known as the Devil's Highway because it's marked with the number of the beast. Fears about the road are so great that locals want to change the name and dump the demons into the Lord's lay-by.
But you lucky Brits have your own diabolical drag strip. Right here in Lancashire is the A666. And I'm going on a road trip to find out if it really is the superhighway of the supernatural.
The A666 runs from Bolton north to Blackburn and beyond, but this is one road a girl shouldn't travel alone. So to ride shotgun, I've roped in Thea, psychic and witch, and she has her own strange tale from the road with the devil's digits.
About 2 years ago, we were driving to Belmont Village, and just before we came off this road, we drove through a black fog.
A black fog?
Yeah, totally black. It was about 10 or 12 foot in length. And we had to stop the car just after we'd gone through it.
Why?
Because myself and the other passenger were just in floods of tears.
Ooh, how spooky. Well, if anything like that happens, it's okay because I have my all-purpose good luck shrine here.
And I have my pentagram and my amber.
Like every good witch should.
Definitely.
We're okay, but what about the Provost of Blackburn Cathedral? His church is surrounded by the 666. Which must mean he's had some devilish drive-bys.
No, I have to say no, really, but it's a very dangerous corner. You have to watch it as you come round. And it also seems to be the most dug-up road in Blackburn. They're having a go, as we speak, to dig up that road and see what's happening. So you could be right. I mean, they seem to be more everlasting than eternity itself sometimes, yes. Huh.
Spooky.
Spooky, yeah.
This cafe is situated right on the side of the A666. Have you ever noticed anything weird happening here?
One of the workmen came to the counter, ordered his breakfast, gave him the fry up. He went to the table, put it down, came back for some sauce. And when he came back, all of his sausages had just completely disappeared.
The sausages just...
Nobody'd been near it at all.
Vamoose.
Correct, yeah.
Thea, what do you make of the cafe? Any special feeling you get?
Not inside. It feels very nice and cozy in here, but there is a certain amount of feeling of disruption outside. But as regards the sausages, well, strange things do happen in the paranormal, but I personally haven't lost any sausages.
It's getting weirder and darker, but the ghost stories just keep on coming.
I've heard a story about a ghost of a sales rep for a tea company who crashed on the A666 on his way to a meeting in Bolton. And ever since then, you know he's around when your car fills with the overwhelming smell of Earl Grey tea. Can you smell any tea?
The forces of darkness are everywhere. These pictures from a surveillance camera were taken on a Tuesday night in February last year. It was business as usual until this happened. No one can explain that eerie interference or this. Looks normal, but play the tape backwards and you can hear this satanic chanting.
I wonder what's for tea. I wonder what's for tea.
Well, yeah, we've heard a lot of strange tales about the A666, but I'm not entirely convinced. What do you think?
I think possibly some of them were true, but not all of them.
Yeah, I think some of them were a lot of hot pink baloney. Let's get out of here.
Good idea.
My shivers were timbered. My timbers were shivered.
T-junction, crossroads.
It was
T-junction.
absolutely spooktastic.
Looks really spooky. I tell you, that bit, the thing I recognise about that road is a bit spooky is that it reminds me very, very much of a section of the M25 as you come around the top clockwise entering into Canterbury. I don't know if you remember that bit.
No.
Oh, here, this will refresh you. Look.
Oh.
Hang on, hang on, hang on, hang on. There. See it? Is that not the likeness there is incredible.
What is that? What are you showing us here,
It's just
Phil?
the curve, the exact spooky, weird. Can you hear the horns going doo doo doo?
What is this film? What is this from?
Oh, this is the M25 video that you can get out. Funny you mention that. No, seriously, you can get. This guy went round, and I don't know how he shot it. He must have had a video camera on his dashboard. Shot a video, made a sequel, sold lots. It's selling like hot pies.
So this is another Christmas idea.
Hang on. Hang on a sec. Can you see that space over there between those two metal bits? It's not a bad space, but it's pretty empty, isn't it?
A little bit empty.
Hang on a sec. We'll soon change all that with new space filler.
Is that a real thing?
Seriously, no, it's the space user. Can you believe it?
And that's the video, and that's how you learned how to use
Yeah,
it.
you look on the back. There's him doing certain bits of it, and then you simply copy these actions. And then you can fill gaps. And if you want, you can fill gaps so you've no idea where the gaps are. You just fill a whole random
You
set of gaps.
have too much time on your hands, I think. Yeah.
It's a show filler. I mean, sorry.
You're a show filler, is what you are.
But I tell you, some things Phil shows with foamily and bubbly, and some things are just fantastic. Now, please do welcome our next bit. He's an amazing man. He's a regular on the show. He's incredible. He is the man, the chief of Soapy Doings, the sudster himself. He is the detective of lather, if you'd rather, Soapy Dick.
That's marvellous. All right. Well, calm down. Well, the budget has left us all feeling the pinch, and nowhere more so than down Weatherfield way. Yes, customers are thin on the floor at Alma's Cafe, and with 15 pence on a packet of fags in Rita's cabin, well, the residents of Coronation Street are a bit strapped for cash. So they've come up with this idea to raise cash for Christmas. It is, in fact, the Coronation Street album. Now, don't sound surprised. It's the Coronation Street album. It's out on Monday, but if it does come as a shock to you, remember there's always been a strong musical tradition down in Weatherfield.
She gets too hungry for dinner at 8, goes to the theatre, but she never comes late. She never bothers with people she hates.
Well, it's not been as busy as I've expected. Well, you don't need to sound so pleased about it.
Only I thought, you know, what can we do to liven up Monday night?
The minute you walked in the joint, I thought you were a man of distinction, a real big spender, good looking, so refined. Say, wouldn't you like to know what's going on in my mind? So let us get right to the point.
You've got a lovely
I don't talk my talk.
Oh, bless their heart. That's it. Yeah, I'm sure there's a few of you out there who would like a frock like that. I know I had one. Well, Rita's always been a bit of a pro, hasn't she? But now the rest of the residents are jumping on the bandwagon. And to help me decide whether they've got a Christmas hit on their hand, whether they can top those Christmas charts, is none other than Virgin Radio's Russ Williams. Thank you, Russ. Thank you. Now, call me sceptical, but how did these virtual unknowns from a northern, a grimy northern backstreet land such a lucrative recording contract?
Well, it's a good point, Richard, but it didn't stop the Nolan sisters, did it?
Well, it didn't. All the Beatles,
but they set the precedent, and now everyone can do it.
Everyone can do it,
Exactly.
indeed. Well, we've seen them singing in the Rovers, but now let's take a look at the Queen of Weatherfield Cafe Society, Alma Baldwin, and her Cockney Sparrow Mike, singing in the recording studio with their version of Something Stupid.
I know I stand in line until you think you have the time to spend an evening with me. And if we go someplace to dance, I know that there's a chance you won't be leaving with me. Then afterwards we drop into a quiet little place and have a drink or two. Saying something stupid like, I love you.
Oh, come on! You cynical bunch. That made me go all sort of wet and sticky, Russ. What about you?
No, the Kylie and Jason of the over 50s. Dreadful.
Well, I think maybe that Kylie and Jason were in love as well, Russ.
Well, yeah, I mean, Mike, I've never seen him looking so happy. He must be having an affair.
Nonsense, I'll not hear it. I'll not hear it.
Did you notice Alma's Prozac kicked in halfway through the clip?
Dreadful. Alma is not on drugs, and I won't have any more of that. Bottom line, is it a hit or a miss on the Soapbox jury?
Well, I mean, if they do have a sort of elongated musical career, if they split up, it won't be for creative differences, I can tell you. It's appalling, but we did make the Smurfs a Christmas #1 once, so you never know. No, it's a miss. It's rubbish, Richard.
Rubbish.
It's a
I
miss.
reckon it's got what it takes. Now, listen, I'll tell you what, we're not the musical experts. There are people here every week, of course, if you watch the Sunday Show regularly, who are. They are, in fact, the Sunday Show choir, so let's go over to them for their divine verdict. What do you think?
Loads of rubbish. It's a myth.
Oh, no! Right, Alma! I'm never going to be able to eat in her calf again. Well, I'll tell you what, this has got to go in the Soapy Dick bin. But let's see how this one fares. This is Coronation Street crimper Fiona and her arch rival Vicky. Now, they came together not to make a video, sadly, because, of course, they can't stand each other, but they've recorded their voices onto this track, and it's their version of Womack and Womack's Teardrops. Listen to this. Come on. Work it. Come on, work it. Get into it. It's a patient song. Come on. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm coming right up. I need a bottle of water. Come on. Yeah, it's marvellous. Look at it. See, get some more going. Fantastic. Yay. Whoa. Wow. Stop it. Steady. It's a pacey little number, this, don't you think? It had them all toe tapping.
Some of my colleagues would say it's turntable spinning pop-tastic. But,
you are a DJ, aren't you?
Yes, well, allegedly, yes. So, I mean, it's incredible they buried their differences over the wimp, Steve McDonald.
Well, I think it's good that they came together.
Vicky's now married to him, of course, and I bumped into Vicky, and she said he's a complete control freak, he's in charge of her life, and that's very dangerous.
Well, he'll need the money. She'll need the money as well, because he's cycling it all off, isn't he? Gambling.
Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, that's what I mean. He's dangerous. It's like, you know, putting O.J. Simpson in charge of the cutlery department at Harrods. You don't do it.
What about the song?
The song?
Hit or miss?
Oh, for me, Richard, it's another miss.
Oh, choir, what do you think?
Hallelujah.
Yes, that's the stuff. Yeah, well, sorry, I'll be giving that one away for Christmas. But finally, what about the residents have come together for their show's stomping finale? And this is the one, Russ, that they've tipped for the Christmas #1. Always look on the bright side of life.
Always look on the bright side of life. Always look on the right side of life. Always look on the right side of life.
Well, there you go. That's what I've got to tell you, Russ. Yeah, see, they like that. I've got to tell you, that's people up north for you, isn't it? Doing the conga community spirit brings them all together. They bond because they all live in terraces.
That's right, they do bond. I was over at Des Barnes' house this morning, popped over, we're going out clubbing in Salford tonight, and as I went in, Liz McDonald came out, so they are bonding. There's no doubt about that.
Absolutely, I'll say they are. Hit or miss?
Oh, it's a big hit. This is a big one.
Hit.
This is an anthem, Richard.
Choir, what do we think? Over to the choir. That's another one for Soapy Dick stockings. Well, I don't know about you, Russ, but it seems like anyone can cut a single these days. So I think I'll nip down Tin Pan Alley and cut the Soapy Dick rap. Phil, what do you think?
Thanks, Russ and Richard. Magic. Now it's time for just a few, or maybe even just one item of late news from Katie.
In China, promotional stunts really open up a whole new can of worms. These two ladies spent 12 days locked up in a snake-filled room in order to put their town of Panyu on the map. And 888 poisonous playmates meant non-stop fun for the slither-happy slappers. They could skip them, snog them, and suck them. Lucky snakes.
The funny thing is, they did all that to put their town on the map, but I checked the map and the town was already on it. Anyway, and so are a lot of other towns, because that map was covered in towns. Anyway, it's time to find out the answer to this week's dilemma, ladies and gentlemen.
Kenneth Clark!
Kenneth, if you remember, it's Kenneth Clark's Terrible Dilemma. We take the audience reactions first. So grab the card you want. Don't forget, I'm going to give you a quick menu thing first. First card, option A, of course, was free booze and baths for students. Second one, of course, was a trip to Hawaii. And third one was Thanks for Hey! On Jerome and Robert. So don't forget those. So first of all, hold out your red cards. First of all, if you believe there should be free booze and fags for students. Clap for the red cards, that whole idea of getting sent off. Hold up your green cards if you believe there should be a free trip to Hawaii for all those who definitely deserve it. Green cards, only a few more than reds. That means there's a lot left, with yellow for heavy tax on jobs in the I can't believe it's anonymous. If you check on the... Oh! No, I don't believe it.
This only, is the phone vote.
Oh, it's closed. 49%, see the tax on Robson and Jerome. So now it's time, as always, to phone up. Make a phone go, thanks, okay, that's close enough. We're going to phone Ken Clark's, that's not close enough. We're going to phone Ken Clark, Ken Kai, the Chinese press secretary. No, we're going to phone Ken Clark on this, although I'm just going to dial...
Are we going to talk to Ken, or who are we going to talk to?
We're going to phone Steve Hurd, who's Ken Clark's press officer at government central headquarters in London.
And we're going to tell him the happy news.
What's that? And we're going to tell him the news. We're giving our advice. Now, I'm going to dial with my ear. Here we go. Hello, Steve? Hello, Steve. Heard? But not seen. You're live on BBC Two, The Sunday Show. A lot of people call it the Sunday morning show, but that's inaccurate. How are you today, Steve?
Very good, thank you.
Did you have a nice night last night?
Yes, very good.
How's the tread on your car tyres? Is it good?
Yes, it's still very good.
Now, I don't know if you're aware of, we've got a verdict for you. We asked the whole of Britain what they think Ken Clark could have done to make the budget a bit more enticing to us. Now, we didn't want the free gifts. What Britain wanted was a heavier tax, can you believe it, on the records of Robson and Jerome. And
yes, I saw it.
Will you pass the message on to Kenny?
I certainly will.
And can you also tell him about Hawaii, a quick message about Hawaii. Don't forget, just tell him that it's okay, we got the same girls in grass skirts as last year.
Right, thank you very much.
Okay, goodbye. Goodbye, Ma. Thanks.
Thank you.
Oh, that was fantastic. That was great. The nation speaks.
That was real. That was real.
That was absolutely real. And now, #1, 21 years ago today, was the Walrus of Love's big song, Barry White's song, You're the First, You're the Last, You're My Everything.
You're all in
It's sung by the Righteous Sunday Show Choir.
Goodbye, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Choir.
You're my sun, my moon, my guiding star, my kind of wonderful. That's what you are. I know there's only one like you. Only one like you. There's no way, no magic they could make
The Man with Those Shoes. In concert.